Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and our guest today is Cecile Blilious. She is the co-founder and managing partner at Impact First Investments in Tel Aviv. Cecile, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you for having me.
We're thrilled to have you. Would you just take a minute and introduce the work that you're doing as an impact investment fund in Tel Aviv? Give us a sense of your mission and purpose.
Sure. So Israel, everybody knows Israel is the startup nation. Everybody talks about how Israel has been so great at producing technology to address just about anything. It's been quite a miracle to use the human resource here in Israel to develop innovation in anything. My quest and my vision is to take all of that and retain it to create social impact. I think that the world has a lot of problems, people have a lot of problems, and many of these problems can be addressed with technology. But not enough attention is paid to technology for social impact. And being in Israel, where this is our biggest resource, I think it's our job and my vision to turn the startup nation into the impact nation and really provide the world with technology solutions to pressing problems for society.
Well, it is interesting, certainly in the work that I do, I cover exclusively impact, and I do see a lot of impact activity coming out of Israel. And so I think you're well on your way to becoming impact nation as well as startup nation. So yeah, I appreciate you joining us today. In fact, you offered in advance, you provided me with 5 great tips. And I want to just go through and talk about each one briefly because I thought they were really good insights. Your first would probably apply not only to technology startups for impact, but probably all startups. But you said, don't sacrifice on talent. Tell us why you think that's important, especially for impact entrepreneurs.
Well, first of all, it's absolutely true that any startup should be the same. And when you're thinking about building a company, you have to build the best company you can. And definitely, when you do that in the impact space, you want to be the best you can, because with that, you'll make even more impact. So when you're thinking about investing in a company or setting up a company, you really have to bring the best people, because at the end of the day, it's all about execution. People think that tech companies succeed because they have this great technology. Mostly it's just about the execution. Technologies lie around in universities, in all kinds of places, and are never picked up or don't succeed because the entrepreneurs really can't make it. So the talent, the ability of the entrepreneurs, the management team to lead the company all the way to the end, that is the biggest and most important feature, I think. And when you're trying to make impact, think about an investor who needs to allocate funds. Everything has a cost. So if you invest in one company, you're not going to invest in another one. So if you invest in the wrong company, that's a bad decision twice, because first of all, you lose. And second, you're not going to make any impact. And you could have an impact with another company you invested in. So it's really, really important for impact entrepreneurs to make sure that they bring the best talent and go all the way. And then they can be successful on the financial side and successful on the impact side.
That's great. Now, your second tip is to be profitable with a defined theory of change. In a way, that's almost 2 tips in one. But tell us about why you think there is this connection between profitability and having a defined theory of change.
So when you have a very clear theory of change and a very clear social mission, it's easy to build it within the DNA of your company and the DNA of what you're trying to achieve on the business side. So when you have that in place and you can build it and weave it within your business case and your business plan, then the execution becomes just part of following the plan and obviously looking at reality, changing the plan according to reality and making it happen. So one of the concerns we have as investors, as impact investors, is mission drift. When you have a very clear, defined theory of change within the DNA of the founders of the company, you have everybody aligned behind the mission and the theory. And with that, you can create really great and successful companies where all the employees from the top to bottom, everyone is aligned with the social mission that you're trying to achieve. So having that and building a very profitable business around it, I think is a key to succeed and to reach all the intended conclusions that you want to reach on the business and on the social side.
Yes. So your third point was to incorporate an intrinsic mission. I think this is really an important point, but I want you to elaborate.
Well, this is what I talked about, the DNA of the company. When you want to make real change, it really has to be something you truly believe in, and you truly it can transcend within the organization and all the way to your clients, to your stakeholders, to anybody that's engaged somehow in creating the impact that you're trying to make. So when you have a very clearly defined mission that can be embedded in what you do, and it's really what you believe in. It's not just something that you do now because this is an opportunity that you have, or some cool thing that you think will work, and then you'll move to the next thing. When it's really something that is embedded in what you want to do as the entrepreneur, that's going to succeed.
So, well, let's go to tip 4. Your tip 4 is build the best board you can. This, another great tip probably for all entrepreneurs.
Of course. One of the things that is different about impact entrepreneurs is that on top of wanting to be great companies, they also want to address social issues. And if they have a board that doesn't agree with that or is not aligned with that, they're going to have a lot of problems really getting to their mission. And they're going to have a lot of discussions and disagreements with their board on how to make this mission work. And, you know, it's not questions that have to do with, should we sell this company for $400 million to these guys, or should we? It's really much smaller decisions on an almost daily basis. And when you have your investors and board aligned with what you want to do, and they understand where you're going, it's going to be much easier for you as an entrepreneur to get to where you want to go. If you don't have that alignment, you're going to go into clashes that will have an effect on how you manage your business, eventually on your well-being as an entrepreneur, because it's going to be endless discussions. So I really strongly advise impact entrepreneurs to get people on the board and as investors who believe in what they believe and align their missions.
And finally, your 5th tip was to cooperate with international partners. Why is that important?
Well, this is really mostly for Israeli entrepreneurs. You know, here in Israel, we're a very small market. As I said, one of our biggest resources, and maybe the biggest resource, is the human resource and the ability of Israeli entrepreneurs to really bring ideas to life and to make them happen. However, we are a small market, and in order for us to scale and to get real global problems, social problems solved with Israeli technology, we must cooperate with foreign investors, foreign partners, foreign stakeholders. We need to understand these markets better. We need to have access to the markets. We need to be educated. We need support. So even us as an Israeli fund, we also need to create partnerships like this, because we need the support of our peers that are away from Israel, that see the bigger picture, that see the scale, and are able to really take our solutions from Israel to the world. So to me, it's not only about Israel. Anything we do in Israel is going to be applicable in Israel. It's going to be helping Israeli society as much as it will other societies. But generally speaking, when we're talking about technology that is scalable and really can address global issues, it has to come with partnerships with global players. And this is what we're always striving to do, getting more players to cooperate with us and more funds to work together with us and get exposure of our work to international players and people in the impact domain, but not only in the impact domain, everywhere, in the venture capital world, in the private equity world, anywhere that we can think that there is a good connection that can help the companies. This is where we should be going, and the entrepreneurs should be striving for the same thing.
Fantastic. Well, Cecile, you have become a role model to many. You've had really an impressive career already, and just a dynamic person. But who do you look up to as a role model?
Well, you may be surprised by this answer, but I've been practicing martial arts for over 20 years. And my role model is my teacher. It's actually my Tai Chi teacher, Master Nir Malchi, who is heading the Tai Chi school here in Israel. And he's been my teacher for over 20 years. And he's really teaching me how to look at life in a more holistic way, look at reality and adapt what I need to do based on what's happening in real life. Not give up, be very persistent and consistent, and think about the end point and how to get there in the best way. To be very encompassing, getting people together and looking at things as all linked with each other. There's nothing that is not linked to something else. Nothing stands alone in what we do in the world. So everything is being linked to other things. We need to address that and not just think that we're alone and whatever we do is doesn't have any effect on anything else. So this is something that he's been teaching me, and I've been teaching Tai Chi for many years as well. And this is something that I try to also transcend to the people that I teach, because this is a life mission. It's a life understanding, and that's why I look up to him, and I think he's been a wonderful teacher.
Oh, that's great. Now, you have chosen to focus on impact investing and driving change in the world. I understand that that's an important thing to do, that it's a good thing to do. I think a lot of people understand that, but don't pursue it. Why would you choose to devote your life to it, your career to it?
Well, first of all, it fills me with a lot of passion, and I'm really passionate about this. It fills me with happiness, in a sense. I have this thing about looking at challenges in a way that relentless optimists do. I see opportunities where other people see challenges. I really do feel for people with problems, and I do see the problems, and I do see that they're not being addressed. It fills me with a sense of purpose, and which is, by the way, something that all entrepreneurs in the impact space should feel. The sense of purpose is really what drives me. You talked about being a role model. That's an important thing. I'm the very proud mother of 4 daughters. I have to be a very good role model for them. I have to show them that you have to do something with purpose. We're probably here for a reason, and there's not one thing that's not linked to others, as we said before. So I think that if we create circles of doing good, while putting all the efforts and professional abilities in that, then we create a lot of side effects with all of society, and definitely with society that is close to us. So my closest is, of course, my daughters, but I hope to be a role model to other young women, entrepreneurs, and investors, and just people even that are home mothers that want to stay at home and do what feels right for them. I think this is a message that says we're here to do something good. We don't have a lot of time around here. Let's do something that really fills us with happiness and purpose and gives us challenges on the professional side, because it's not easy. And just look at this as optimistically as possible. I'm a relentless optimist.
Well, that's great. I think it's important to be a relentless optimist if you're going to be an entrepreneur, and especially an impact entrepreneur. Now, I want to ask you, as we ask all of our guests, to leave us with an impact hack, some tip that would help us to do more good in the world. And I realize you've given us 5 great tips for entrepreneurs, but maybe there's one more bonus tip you could give us to help us do more good.
Well, if there's one thing I can say, it would be think positive. Always. Always say yes. It's easier to say no. It's easier to say, can't do that, impossible, too far, too hard, nobody wants this, we're not going to make it. But instead, if you just try to say, yes, yeah, we can do this. Maybe it's going to be hard. People are going to help us. We're doing something for good. So obviously, there's going to be other people that are going to be affected by it and join. Just say yes. Always be positive, and always think of how what you do can really help other people grow. It's my life philosophy is that in order to grow as a person, it's really important to have everybody around me grow. It's not about pushing everybody down. It's pushing everybody up. And when you push everybody up, you go up as well. So everybody goes up, and that's a win for everyone. But you can only do this if you think positive, if you look at the bright side of things, even when things are hard, and even when you get no for an answer. And believe me, I get no for answers a lot. But it's just, minor setbacks. Just keep going, and you keep going, and you keep thinking positive, and that gets you where you want to go.
Yeah, great tip. I love that impact hack, to think positive. Now, before you go, Cecile, tell us how people can learn more about what you're doing and get in touch with you.
I think the easiest way is to go to our website. And, I do have a Facebook account. I have a LinkedIn account. I have Twitter. There's the Impact First website. We're doing all kinds of things. We keep coming up with new ideas because, as I said, reality kicks in sometimes and it's not exactly as you planned, which most of us know. So obviously you have to keep adjusting your plans so things change. I really urge people to look us up online and see. And I'm reachable online, and we'll be happy to talk and accommodate people's requests or questions.
Well, fantastic. Cecile, thank you very much for being with us today. We wish you every success in creating the change in the world that you seek to make through your impact investment fund at Impact First Investments.
Thank you very much, Devin. It's been a pleasure.
All righty, let's do some good.